Let's not be obsessed with concentration, being specific with just emotions, feelings, looking, seeing, and knowing. Don't be specific with anything whatsoever. Let's purify through the boundlessness constantly. Disengage even from disengagement itself in the way without limits, child. No grasping even for the non-grasping itself in the way without limits. Discard the discarding itself in the way without limits. That which is boundless, it has nothing to do with discarding or not. We have nothing to do with my or not my in the way with titi. We have nothing to do with discarding or not, grasping or not in the way with titi, opinions and meanings. That which is boundless, it has nothing to do with uninvolvement even within itself. Continue to remind oneself to purify samsara through nibbana continuously. Let's conclude through nibbana for samsara continuously. There is no complication for the blessing at all. Just know how to bless. But when one doesn't know how to bless, it becomes complicated. Use that which is not involved with itself to purify through unwinding and releasing through the emptiness continuously. With everything uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself. Disengage from disengagement itself with everything. No grasping for the non-grasping itself with everything. With everything. With everything. Let's conclude through Nibbana to purify samsara through Nirodha continuously. Let's conclude through the emptiness to purify samsara continuously. Let's not be engrossed to circle with just oneself, body, mind. Let's not be limited with certain things, that which is boundless. Discard even the discarding itself, that which is boundless, child. No grasping even for the non-grasping itself. It is unlimited. That which has nothing to do with disengaging or not. It is unlimited. Any sentence is the conclusion of Nirodha Nibbana. You can use it. You can use all of them. They don't grasp for themselves. They are the sentences that purify themselves. They dissolve themselves. Uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself, child. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. Let's proceed simultaneously with this essence, with everything in the way that is unlimited. Mind doesn't grasp for mind itself. It doesn't grasp for itself. The non-attachment doesn't grasp for itself. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. That which has nothing to do with involvement or uninvolvement. Neither is involving with involving or uninvolving. Mai, even from Mai itself, uninvolved even within the uninvolvement itself. Let's proceed with this essence in the way that is countless, in the way that is endless. Let's conclude in the way to purify without limits, without the reminders to purify constantly. You will be dull, maintaining, sinking with just the familiarity within dwelling, the dwelling within oneself. Samsara and the beings will just be stuck with just significance and meanings, identification in the dwelling of the mind. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachments, be thorough with it. That which has nothing to do with letting go or not letting go, then it will be true letting go. That which has nothing to do with my or not my, that is true my. My in the way that is not my, letting go in the way that is not the letting go. Emptiness that is not emptiness. Letting go that is not letting go. My that is not my, is not an act. Everything is just an assumed terminology. Therefore, my is not even my itself. Even uninvolved is not having anything in it. It's just an assumed terminology to purify samsara, that's all. This will reflect to purify titi in all forms, opinions and meanings, in all forms, in this way and that way. That is called variations of titi. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself, then it will be truly not attaching. The word non-attachment, it turns into a titi already. It's called terminology of titi. Therefore, not attached to the non-attachment itself. This is called non-attachment purifies itself. That is true non-attachment. It's not just a thought that is not attaching, or feelings that is not attaching, opinions that is not attaching. It's not only that, titi. Not attached to the non-attachment itself. Titi purifies titi itself. Terminology purifies itself. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. Let's conclude through Nibbana thoroughly. To be stuck with just attachment or non-attachment is just a circling. Involvement or uninvolvement is just circling. To be limited with just my or not my, yes or no, it's still circling. That which has nothing to do with yes or no. Let's conclude through Nibbana thoroughly. That which has nothing to do with being empty or not. Let's conclude through Nibbana thoroughly. That which has nothing to do with Nibbana or not Nibbana. Let's conclude through Nibbana thoroughly. To maintain and sink in even a tiny bit is already suffering, is unbearable already. Don't maintain the mind. No grasping, discarding itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. Let go of the letting go itself. It doesn't grasp for itself. Continue with the conclusion. Discard the discarding itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. Don't fall in stillness. It's gonna create the unbearable. This is called concentration of the mind. That is concentrating karmic difficulties, hindrances, and suffering. Don't concentrate. Don't compose the mind. With everything, discard the discarding itself. No grasping for the discarding itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. That which has nothing to do with discarding or not, child. Let's be thorough. Then it will be truly discarding. If there is something that is trying to discard, it's not true discarding, because the discarding doesn't discard itself. That which has nothing to do with discarding or not, then it will be truly discarding. Not truly discarding because there is something that is trying to discard. Not yet. Mind has nothing to do with mind itself instantly, child. Then it will be true mind, mind without traces of mind, mind that has no meaning as mind. Then it will be true mind, mind that is not mind itself. Therefore, just be thorough, child. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment, be thorough with it. Neither is about involvement or uninvolvement. Each terminology, if you are fixated to it, the suffering is right there. That's why we need to use terminologies that purify itself. The terminology that dissolves itself is not something to be fixated upon. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, then it will be true non-attachment without traces. It will purify the maintaining of the mind, because it is the suffering in itself. Maintaining, looking, seeing and knowing, whatever it is that is maintained, is the suffering in itself. That which has nothing to do with taking or not taking, then it will be true, truly not taking. Neither is about involvement or uninvolvement, child. Automatically there will be purification of the emptiness.